Welcome to Stu and the Nunn, an online radio show and podcast focused on national security, policy, politics, and selfless service. We're here to give you an honest opinion, a different perspective, and hopefully a few laughs. We do this by not only interviewing guests, but also sharing our own perspectives and asking you, the listener, to interact with us on the show chat room, via our Facebook page, and on Twitter. We would like to thank those who make this show possible and allow us to bring it to you. Our show sponsors, Warrior Media Solutions, BlueHammer.com, Mighty Oaks Warrior Foundation, Graybeard Publishing, and of course, Sheep Products. We would also like to recognize some of our favorite nonprofit charities who are doing great things for those who have served this country of ours. Veterans Outdoors, Mighty Oaks Warrior Foundation, PinupsForVets.com, and the Lauren F. Bruner USS Arizona Memorial Foundation. To learn more about these nonprofits and how you can donate to their awesome causes, visit our website at www.stewandthenunn.com. And hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Stu and the Nunn. Hopefully we get off technical glitch free tonight. I want to welcome everyone to this episode 107. So you got Stu here, and as you can see to my side, a gentleman with hair, so you know it's not Nunn.
And no beard.
And no beard. So I want to welcome you, want to welcome Doug from GearForGrunts.com to the show, helping guest host tonight. Welcome, Doug.
Anyway, thank you, Mr. Stu. And there's the gratuitous logo shot that you were looking for earlier, wanting to see. You're supposed to say something upon seeing that.
The gratuitous logo shot.
Yeah, right. See?
Hold
there
on.
you go.
Okay, there we go. Yep. There, I just hit my mic too and just knocked everyone's ear out. Yeah, and I got a couple other logos in there. We got our Veteran Outdoors. There you go. I got our Veteran Outdoors hat on. Great organization, great nonprofit, and of course our main show sponsor. We got our Enlisted 9 Fight Company. So we have that going on, and you got the Enlisted 9 Fight Company shirts. Colton, the guys over there, putting out some great product. Big sponsor of our show. We appreciate that. And of course, Gear for Grunts is a great organization, putting out some awesome tactical equipment that not only our military love, but the law enforcement love too, don't they, Doug?
That is correct, and hopefully we'll see something cool go on this year at Fort Benning, actually, this year with the RAMP, which is, the Rapid Access Magazine Pod here with the Magpul Gen 3, which the Army's going to. So we'll see what happens, and there's some other law enforcement conventions we'll be attending this year here, mostly in the great state of Texas. But thanks for appreciate the plug.
Yeah,
trying to support the troops out there.
No problem. We appreciate the help. I appreciate you coming on tonight and
no
keeping me from having to go solo here on the show. I am fighting with a little bit of technical thing, but hopefully people don't notice. Except you see me still keep looking to the right. I'm actually running a third laptop tonight to prevent hopefully any chance of a snafu of whatever happened last week, which we never did get to the bottom of. It could have been the Illuminati. It could have been the Russians.
You got
sure.
You guys needed me there to explain it to people, or at least to try to BS your way out of it.
Well,
you didn't get into, the RAW couldn't talk to the LEN, the large extension node, which broke the link to the SYN, the small extent. Just start saying stuff like that, and
you were a SIGO.
Sunspots.
You were a SIGO, so you've got all that high speed stuff. Essentially, the pipe was not lubricated for the bandwidth, I think is what it was. It wasn't.
You got to go down. It's a down when lubricated.
Okay.
You got to go
down.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
There we go. There we go. So yeah. So hopefully we don't have that tonight. So I'm running a third laptop, which is kind of acting up a little bit, which is really annoying me.
It's a Windows machine.
It is a Windows machine. I'll just put that disclaimer out there right now. I am a Mac person, and I have Mac everywhere. This is the only Windows machine I own, actually. And
Windows machine.
It is acting up.
So,
or in the Mac world, we call it Wind Blows. But
hey, I know you can handle it. Stu, because I just shortly before we started, I had this memory back at JRTC Live Fire. Remember when they pulled us out um, of the you know the play war and took us to the live fire range, and we
Sort
were
of.
out there
Yeah, sort of
at
remember.
Fort where the hell were we? Fort Chaffee, and it was sleeting because it was December and it was awful. But you got to be warm and dry inside the FDC vehicle.
Fire
So I
Direction Center,
remember,
the brains of the
yes,
infantry.
undoubtedly, I was just merely a figurehead. So I remember walking around the gun line, and we were live firing, and they were having to, you know, decouple the tube from the base plate to dump water out and to put it because they were having some misfires. But anyway, I remember looking into the FTC. So this is how I know you can handle all this technical stuff, because the coolest thing ever, everybody needs to know this, is I remember looking in there. So you're the FTC chief. I remember looking in there. You have two handsets, one in each hand. You're going like this, and you're doing math calculations in your head at the same time, talking to whoever the computer guy was in our platoon, all at the same time. That was the coolest thing. Then I went ahead. Well, it's not going to get any better than that. I'm just going to close the door and let it run and go do my thing out here. So I just want everybody to know that was the coolest multitasking thing I've ever seen. And it's been 20, what year is this? So it's been 25 years, 26 years.
Yeah, Chaffee was 90, Chaffee was 93, 93?
No, December 92.
92. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember that. I did not realize, I don't remember that image, or I don't remember you telling me about that, but that sounds like something I would do. I was kind of a two-hand mic guy a lot of times.
I don't know what battalion command here and S3, I don't know, but I just thought, see, I'm here to remember these things for you. You know, actual boo hammer sightings in the wild back in the day.
Yeah,
so of what you used to do for this great country of ours, and it was really cool to behold. So there you go. There's your.
Well, thank you for bringing that memory up. That was a long time. I kind of remember that. And you note, I was dry in the FTC, and
yes.
probably warm.
Yes. Yeah, and that's good to know. Well, you know, my Gore-Tex was only water resistant, but it's cool.
They told us they told us it was the best thing since sliced bread when they issued it to us. It was,
probably back then it was pretty good stuff, man. Back then, next to the whoopee is probably the coolest stuff we had, but right. I can't complain.
So I got my first Gore-Tex in Korea in 1989, and it was like cutting edge, right? Because it was, we were pretty much the front lines, right on the DMZ. There was no wars happening. And I remember him issuing it to us in the bear suits and the Polypro and all that stuff. And we just, we were like kids in a candy store. You mean I don't have to wear a field jacket anymore with a field jacket liner, and like this stuff is light and it's thin and it's got zippers underneath and Velcro and I remember that in a bear suit. We used all that stuff in Korea in the wintertime, trust me. But I remember getting it in 1989. No one else had it. We were like one of the first ones to get it. And I remember telling us it's waterproof. Don't wash it in hot water. Don't dry it. You'll melt the fibers together. It'll be worthless. And it's the
you gotta spray Scotch Guard on it. Scotch Guard on everything.
We probably got told to iron it more than likely. We probably ironed it and put 2 creases across the back. Just saying.
Somebody sent it to the cleaners and got it. Starched and stuff. That happened.
Yeah, So, that's one thing about soldiers, man. You give them anything, it could be the ugliest thing ever, and just because you gave it to them and they didn't have to buy it, they loved it. They would take anything for free. Then we went to Desert Storm. I came back and they gave us those ugly chocolate chip deserts, and we were like, hey, it wasn't BDUs, and they gave us a night camouflage. And let me tell you,
like the parka looking thing, yeah,
the parka, and it had all these dark green with black and these weird splotches on it, and it was supposed to. They told us that it matched the night vision, Soviet night vision, when we went over to the desert that the Iraqis would have, and it makes us invisible because the black and the green splotches lined up perfectly with the night vision, whatever's in the night vision, where it would make us invisible. They wouldn't be able to see us. You tell some infantry soldiers they're going to be invisible on the battlefield.
Wow, what a morale boost! I'm sure everything you said was verified at NADIC, your NATIC,
yes.
your SIRDEC, your Sir Dick, I don't know, one of those
Let me tell you
acronym
what
Army
did.
test
They
center.
told us that because what they didn't tell us is we are going to be over there for a few months without ammo, and so it might as well tell us we're going to be invisible. Thought we have it. We got Maddox handles. We got like axe handles were our weapons for the first few months in the desert. We didn't have ammo, and I
But
got
you had e-tools though.
we
You
had
had
e-tools. I had a
which are
pickaxe on the back of my Humvee, but yeah. So they told us we were invisible, and let me tell you how high speed that stuff was. You came back from Desert Storm. You know how many guys were in the clubs at Fort
oh,
Hood?
doing this, dancing like this with
They,
them on.
they had that desert night camo on. I guess they thought the girls couldn't see him or the boyfriends couldn't see him,
Uh,
but they were sporting that stuff. It was ironed and pressed in the. I mean, they threw away the black oat trench coat they got issued in basic, which was the nicest piece of clothing they
yeah,
ever had. A
yeah.
lot of guys used to wear that to the club. That got tossed aside with the lapels on it, and they put on the desert night camo. That showed that you were, like, you were in the shit. Right? You were over there. You had, not everybody
Did
got
any,
that.
when you say clubs, was that just in the Killeen area, or did you actually wear that stuff when you came down to Austin every once in a while on 6th Street?
No
Oh,
one in
no.
Austin would know what it was. It was a Killeen thing, I think. Someone probably wore it to Austin but I
You
don't
know
know.
they did.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
they did.
But
So.
no, that was the thing back then. It was all about status, and you came back with that sporting that high speed stuff. But it was the ugliest thing ever. I don't think it ever worked. I still have mine. Still have my desert.
Yeah?
Yeah, still got it.
Well, I don't know why you're not wearing it. I don't understand because it's like rare. I mean,
I should.
Maybe it really did work, and that's why the Army doesn't issue it anymore. It's too
I should wear it
expensive or
next
something.
week on the show and see if you can see me.
It's like the alien technology,
Yeah.
inspired. It's trickled down from the aliens technology.
It
is
came
what
from
that was.
Predator. It came Predator. You can't see him moving.
That's
through
exactly, dude. If you wore that during Predator, you would have been fine.
I may
heat
wear it.
dissipation, the whole 9 yards.
I may wear it next week. I'll be there in the Southern Studio, and I may.
You might be warm.
Yeah.
You might be a bit warm because I did check the forecast in anticipation of your question, and the high is going to be mid-60s, lows in like the 40s. So
Nice.
'cause-
Nice. Sounds
'cause
like
you know-
short weather for me.
you know, here in Central Texas, we were dangerously close to freezing last night. It was like 35 here, and I think they had the National Guard on standby just in case, because that's a big deal around here. That's
Right.
Pretty much apocalypse type stuff. So
Speaking of Desert Storm, I see Kelly Krieger in the chat room. I think Kelly, he's an old school boy. I think he was probably around the Desert Storm days, and being a camo officer, he was probably setting up 258 kits and decon stations, and it was all about the Mop 4. But welcome, Kelly, to the show, and George, another old school soldier.
Hey, I was the NBC officer for Charlie Company, first the 501st, man. Before I came to Battalion Mortars.
I was gonna say, wow, did you move up or move down there? I'm not sure which one it was. I think you moved up coming to the Mortars. I would say.
Hey, that was my additional duty. I was a platoon leader, and they said, "Oh, by the way, you're the NBC officer,
They told
you're the
you-
postal officer, and you're the whatever officer, and you're this and that."
And they told you they'd get you a
you-
one block, didn't they? They told you all those additional duties would look good on your OER.
Hey, the good news is, remember the Arctic Challenge when
Yes.
they pulled people out, and you had to go do some chemical downwind message, and you had to set up cones and detectors and stuff. Hey, we actually passed that thing, man. That was, we got like a 73. So Colonel Brooke, probably put that on his OER sport form. The only unit to ever pass the Arctic Challenge. So he,
Well, we can
helped
tell
him get a
some.
little block.
Well, there's a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We can definitely tell some old war stories. I'll tell you another one.
Yeah, I know. It's
I
probably,
remember.
probably boring people,
It
but I think it's
is.
cool stuff. So
Yeah, I remember the
it's all
time.
true.
I'll tell you
All
a
of
real
it.
world. I'll tell you a real world, and you were there, I think, Doug. A real world decon story. Real world. How many have had that happen? With a battalion mortar bundle burn in on a jump up in Fairbanks.
Oh yeah.
And we had a mortar system, 81 millimeter mortar system, burn in. It was a door bundle, got thrown out of an aircraft, shoot didn't open. It hit the ground at terminal velocity and broke into lots of little pieces. And I think it was a section sergeant at the time. Were you platoon leader at the time? Were you there?
I think I had moved on.
I think you were. I think Murphy was a PL. You're right.
To be the highly coveted SIGO.
Yep.
With the Ranger
Yep.
tab.
I think
What's cooler than that, right?
Exactly. Camo 6, their Rangers
Yeah.
Camo 6. Yeah, Murphy was the LT, and my squad walked up with a mortar site which is filled with tritium radiation, very low level radiation, very low. I mean,
Sure.
it's what's in my sights, on my night sights, on my pistols. It's very low level. And
completely within parameters.
yeah,
Everything's fine.
and this
Sure.
this tube, this whole entire mortar gun system was destroyed, and they walked up with a sight in multiple pieces, and we called it in, and we're out in the middle of nowhere up in Fairbanks, Interior Alaska, and they came in, and the guys are like, freaking out because the gun system, and the squad leader thinks he's got to pay for it, and we called it in, and the next thing you know, like real world decon messages went up, and they were calling back to the main base, and they brought a like indexed us, stopped everything, brought a truck out, loaded the guys up, and carted them away. It was like Men in Black in the middle of the night. They took them away. We're like, are we ever gonna see that squad again?
Yeah, they're like going, remember me fondly.
Yeah, tell my mama I did my best.
That's right.
And then we were like, did we get radiation from it? Like, are they? How bad is this stuff? It's just a mortar site. They took them all back to Fairbanks to the on base and put them in some transient barracks. Gave them all showers. That was their decon. They took a shower. They took all the uniforms, gave them all brand new uniforms, went to CIF or whatever, drew them new uniforms, replaced everything they were wearing, and took a shower. And they were deconned from some pert and a Dove bar. That was it.
That was it. Not like
no
Comet in like a steel brush or something. Like I would think it would go down.
They carted them off like they got infected by 40 monkeys in Southern California or something. Like they were in a decon tent. They took them out of there like they were glowing. They put them up in a barracks we're out in the tundra getting eaten up by mosquitoes and doing training operations. They're back for like 5 days eating at the chow hall.
5 days.
Guess what? They were quick to get them out of there. No one was quick to get them back. And
sure.
So eventually they got them back, and they came back fat and happy and shiny and smooth and clean. And they left. We were very worried about them. They came back. They got a lot of extra duties. We were not worried about them anymore.
To make up for it. Because
when they jump off the truck and their boots are shined and they're bragging about how much they were at the Air Force mess hall eating and how's it been out here eating MREs, getting eaten to death by mosquitoes? Yeah, they had no sympathy from us. But anyways, that's a real world decon story. If Kelly still.
But what really pissed you off is they gave him Nomex gloves.
No, they did not.
All those 5 guys had Nomex gloves, and you didn't at the time.
Only jump masters got Nomex and High-Techs. But yeah. Anyways,
I was a jump master. I got no Nomex, man.
You weren't in.
I went through the MTT at Fort Richardson in '92 when it was hard.
Yeah. Yeah, you went
through '93 and they had,
it was harder.
Just stuff.
It was harder.
Yeah.
You weren't in the cool guy club. You went on to be a Sigo. You were not cool anymore as a Sigo. I'm sorry. You were cool to me, but you weren't.
So needs of the Army.
That's
needs
right.
of the Army.
That's right. That's what we have to do. But anyways, we've been going for quite a while. Sorry, buddy, we're boring you. So as
all
you know,
this is true, though.
It is all true. Doug and I go way back and are very, very close friends. And I'm sure all of you have friends. I know my dad's watching. Gary Ball's on, and Kelly and Paul Hernandez,
Gary?
and yeah, I mean, we all got friends that are closer than family sometimes, and we just stick with all these years. And Doug, what was amazing was back when some of us from back in the day, it was a lot tougher to stay in touch back then. We didn't have all these social medias and Twitters and Facebooks. We had
That's true. And I have to think, Christine and Stacy helped that along too, with their friendship, our wives. So that helped, fill in any gaps between yours and mine's, whatever,
Absolutely.
breaking combo potentially. So I think that helped as well. But yeah, it's 26 years now since we've known each other.
Yeah.
So crazy.
So hey man, a lot of stuff's been going on. It has been a crazy last couple of days. We had a shutdown. You've got, like always, tweets flying around. Now we've got missing tweets. A number of things going on, and I kind of want to hit on a couple things. I guess first and foremost, the shutdown. Luckily, it went pretty much a day into business day. So the government did. A lot of contractors got told, and non-essential people told late Sunday night, don't show up. And a lot of them we're still waiting, believe it or not, to get the word first thing this morning to come back.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
What people don't realize is when they shut the government down per se, as in non-essential people not showing up, they just don't show up the next day. It's not like last week where, the government had Monday off, Martin Luther King Day, and they just showed up Tuesday and they're back at it. For some reason, when they shut down, it takes a little while. There's a protocol and a system to ramp them back up. It is not like they showed up this morning. Like, hey, everybody enjoyed a 3-day weekend? I don't understand why, but easy to leave, slow to come back, right? So
Just like the guys that got decommed.
yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
That's the same protocol. It's the same
Nice,
protocol.
nice tying that in. It's like when the IRS, if they owe you, if you owe them money, they're quick to take it. If they owe
Yeah,
you
they want it.
money, if they like,
Yep.
they would have blamed the shutdown on, hey, you're going to get slow tax returns. Like we can't process them because
Oh,
the shutdown.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's but it's back, and I don't think. Doug, they referred to the 2013 shutdown the other day as Mulvaney, cabinet secretary or economy guy, I forget what he is, but as weaponized, which I thought was an interesting term, and pretty much what you hear about weaponized, munitions and weaponized things like that, but he was referring to. Remember all they shut down all the war memorials and
Yep.
they shut down all that stuff as a weaponization of the shutdown to make everyone
hurt.
feel the pain. And
Yes.
they were clear. The administration was that they were not going to do that this time.
Yeah, and I think that's great too, because to me that back in 13 it seems pretty artificial, especially for monuments that don't require like park rangers and stuff like that. There's sort of just walk through things. Why in the world do they need to be shut down? So I think it was just sort of a, people who go, well, who cares about the government being shut down? Doesn't affect me. And I think they were trying to do what they could, at least overtly, and oh look, you can't go to the parks and you can't do this and you can't do that, and see how important the government is, that sort of thing, I guess, is how I'm looking at it. So, yeah, and that gets
well,
into weaponization,
the World War II
too.
memorial,
Like
right?
pain.
There's a great example, the World War II memorial. What's the only thing there is a bathroom. It's an open outdoor memorial.
Right.
What was there? I mean, that's what a lot of us knew at the time. We were like, this is such BS. There's nothing to shut down. It's like shutting down the Vietnam Wall. Just go look at it. I mean, there's no one's operating anything for you. It's not Smithsonian. I could get Smithsonian. There's people have to run it and turn the lights on. These are outdoor memorials. But yeah, it was, so there wasn't done this time, and I think because of that, a majority of the people didn't feel the pain. But then again, I think there's a lot of comments the last couple of days that the Republicans usually have taken the blame for any shutdowns. Somehow it's always been spun that way.
Yep.
And a lot of folks are giving credit, finally or ultimately, to the president and his Twitter, so that it could not get spun one way, and that he kept the media honest, and that it was clear to everyone that the Dems wanted a DACA deal, which DACA doesn't expire until March, and they wanted some kind of deal with DACA, and there was nothing to do. I mean, it's still active, yeah, it was quite a thing, and now everyone's saying Schumer's a big loser, and he got duped, and he caved and lost some cred and whatever. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, the actual fallout and how it affects or doesn't affect this fall's elections, and all the talk about all the party, who's gonna lose seats, who's gonna gain seats. I think that's where it's all going. But yeah, I think you're right. The Schumer shutdown, I think Trump sort of put that out there, or somebody did, and it stuck. And typically how Trump labels people and things, it seems to stick, and that's what you remember. So yeah, right. I guess it worked in this case, and it's kind of weird that Republicans may have, but I don't know how the DACA thing's gonna. So
well, we're funded now to what, February 8th, so we got funding to February 8th. So yeah, I guess this is the interesting question, right? This Congress is CR'd us to death, right? Continuing resolution.
Yes.
Are they going to get right on this, or are we going to be at the flipping 7th, and they're going to be doing this crap all over again, right?
I'm going to bet on PM on the 7th. They're going to wake up from their hangover from all the cocktail parties they've been having with each other for the past week and a half. Oh wait, there's some sort of deadline we're supposed to. Oh yeah, now I remember. Yeah, I don't know, man. And I've been hearing how these continuing resolutions, without having an annual fixed budget for elements of the government, specifically the military, to be able to plan to and against. So it's always these, start, stop, and how it so negatively impacts specifically the military operations, military planning, military training, because you got, so many civilians now involved as well, and they have to, they're
right.
shut down. Well, you're you're not essential, so you have to go. So we'll call you.
Right.
But so stuff like that, it's just like, so it's almost like everyone keeps focusing on these kick the can down the road things, which yeah, it's a total problem. But the real problem is like do your constitutional duty, Congress.
Right.
Do some budgetary. That's what. Anyway,
No, I'm with
yeah,
you.
that's a little frustrating, and it's been going on for years now. So what we're in right now, Troy, seems like that's the new normal now.
Right.
The whole budget, fiscal year planning, yeah, whatever. That's like an acronym now.
Well, they're
So
talking
it
about
seems
that
like,
this next budget they're going to work on is going to be for 2 years. So we'll
mm-hmm.
see if that happens. But that'd be good. They wouldn't have to deal with this next year. We'll just keep on going. But we'll see how that goes. But hey, just in case just in case I drop, or the connection drops out, I just saw a news alert on our local news that there's a power outages sweeping like through the area, the Western New York area. So I don't know why.
Well,
I mean, it's like
I'll keep everybody entertained with my. If we lose you, I'm just gonna do my Fort Hood down on the block Colleen dance move circa 1992. How's that?
Well, if we lose me, we're losing you because I've got the feed going. So you can.
I might have some backup. I might have some redundant ammo.
That's
I really
it.
don't, but I could.
Need to set up the retrans. I do have backup battery and power supplies, and they will cover for a little while, but essentially it'll drop soon after. So maybe I'll get enough warning to be able to shut down. But I don't know what's going on with that. I just saw that. It's weird. Anyways, so the shutdown wasn't too painful. People didn't feel it. I think if anything, the people felt is just the frustration of like, come on, flipping, make it work, do something.
Yeah.
Right.
There's this conversation you and I are having. That's the frustration. It's like, what the heck, man? What are we paying you people to do? You're supposed to work for us.
Right. That's it's like that meme, right? You only have one job. You see like the dead raccoon, like you got the guy paved the yellow line over him and stuff. It's like you only had one job. You couldn't move the dead raccoon. These guys have one job. Congress doesn't have a lot. I mean, they have to appropriate, funding and pass tax laws and that kind of stuff. That's what they need to do, But anyways, it is back. We'll see.
I guess it's hard.
Yeah, I hope they don't wait till the 11th hour to study for the next exam and they get on it before February 7th and they work this out. But this is, and I talked about this a week or two ago with Toby. This is the kind of stuff that why Bernie almost won and probably should have won, at least the Democratic side, and why Trump won the presidency is because the American people are sick and tired of this crap all the time from Congress.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. This is everybody goes, well, how did Trump win? Well, dude, just look around, man. And so many people are sick of this new status quo of just. I use tomfoolery. I don't know. I just wanted to drop that word tonight, but it's just been That's
a sexy word too, and I told you to get that in. That's a sexy word. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. But so we're past that, and now we're on to bigger and better things. Did you hear about the Oscar nominations came out today? Did you hear about all that? Doug? Did you freeze? Hello? Did I lose Doug? I don't know. Did you guys lose me?
Troy locked up.
Up there. You locked up. Did I lock up? Oh, I've got no audio. Are you there? Oh, man. What is happening? Hold on a second. We got some things going on here. Can't access. Oh my goodness gracious! Really? Okay. I'm looking at all my settings. Everything is good. Apparently, I have some kind of sound card issue. Okay. Huh. Let me see what I can do. I'm not sure what I can do here. Can you hear me at all? It's about the same time we lost it. You can hear me? Oh, I can't hear you. Well, I guess talk, Doug. Let me see what I can figure out. Okay. Oh, you there? Are you there?
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you. I had to take it off my headphones.
Weird.
Yeah.
I heard you locked up momentarily. Then I go, this is about the same time last.
Now I've lost you again. Um. Hmm. This is not. What is going on? The Illuminati is back. Uh.
Not even the Sigo can help you. This is scary. This is scary stuff now.
Hmm. Let me try a few things here. Retrans site is not working.
Damn it.
Okay, now I got you back.
All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm gonna take. Let me just make a few things here. Go ahead and talk to me, Doug.
Jiggle the cord, and on the DSVT there, you want to break the. Can you hear me?
Yes. Look at that, man. Yeah, absolutely. Can you? There you go. Yeah, it's that's weird. You can hear me now, though. Okay. Yeah. It's Illuminati, man. It's the Russians. I know they tuning in. His girlfriend. Right. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what. They could have been. I don't know how those people got any work done. I mean, I have a, I have a 16-year-old son who lives on his phone, and I bet he doesn't have that number of text messages, and he's on all that stuff. Son who lives on his yeah. Well, and I think there's no secrets that will. Wow, we're getting some reports on it. If you guys can hear us in the show, just put a comment up. A couple people are commenting like they can't hear us, so I don't know. Maybe it's the delay of the show, but yeah, I don't know. Anyways, what they say, 5 months worth we're missing or some crazy number, but right, you know, it makes you wonder if someone up there was like, we really don't want to release these. We don't want these to be seen. Can we just tell them we lost them? Let's see how long that works, right? You know, right. Yeah. Right. All right. Well, you're gonna love this. Somehow you are not in the system. They are not hearing you. Everyone just sees you doing sign language. So we have lost your audio. Um, yeah, but they can hear me. Uh, yeah, but I don't know why. Hold on a second. I'm gonna try some crazy stuff here. Uh, the I'm doing a couple things here and seeing if we can. I mean, I don't know why they can't hear you. Sorry everybody if you're tuning in. Yeah, we've dropped a couple people. Yeah, you're definitely not. Hold on a second. Yeah, let me try to set this back to. I think it is a damn Windows machine. I think it's exactly what it is. Um, yeah.
Do you want me to seriously? Do you want me to go ahead and drop it and then bring me back in?
Okay. No, now I hear myself, and now I hear. Now I'm back on. Okay. Um, can you say something, Doug?
Yeah. Test,
Okay.
test, test.
Okay.
Hear me?
So someone in the chat, we're down to like one person watching. Great, two people.
Awesome.
Just let us know if you can hear Doug now. I'm hoping you
Check,
can.
check, check.
It's just stupid
Stimulants.
freaking.
Stimulants.
It's this Windows machine. I'm sorry, Bill Gates, but your stuff sucks.
It does.
Um,
It really does.
yeah. My mom says you look good, even if she can't hear you. But hopefully she can
All
hear you now.
right. Well, hey, there's Old Glory. Look, there's you can see the flag at least. That's
Yeah,
what's important.
that's what's important. So, okay, we're gonna keep rocking on.
Let's just roll. We can
Yeah,
watch the tape version.
as true infantrymen, we adapt and overcome, and
Yeah, that's right. Here, I'm giving you a knife hand. Go forward.
that's it. But all right, so I think my dad said he heard you for a little bit. So yeah. So anyways, this text man, I don't know what's going on, man. These FBI people, they, I mean, people are. I heard today they're asking like why they're still there. Why are these people still employed?
Yeah.
Now
Right.
I did hear one interesting thing today that
Mm-hmm.
the reason why those 5 months of messages may have went missing is the IG may have already got them. Who's
Really?
yeah, the IG is doing this big investigation, right? And they're
Okay.
it's the real investigation. It's like he's totally. It's not like the Mueller thing and all that kind of stuff. This guy is really digging in, and they're one of the
Like
things.
internal affairs.
He's like their
It's like
internal affairs,
internal
right?
affairs of the
Inspector
police
General, right?
department.
Right. So
Yeah.
this guy is non-biased. He does not slide one way or the other. But the word is that their thinking is the reason why these 5 months that you said is as you said was the most critical or most sensitive, maybe because he may have already grabbed him.
Wow.
So they could
Interesting.
not delete him, which would probably be awesome for justice and truth. But
Sure. And
um,
transparency. I
right,
mean, we have to know what's going on in these organizations, and whatever side you're on, if you're cool with one side doing this, as long as it's your side or what, you got problems because eventually one day it's going to be not your side doing this.
right, right.
So
One of the things I asked
so
you earlier, I don't know if you heard me or not. I was asking if you heard about the Oscar nominations coming out today. Did you watch that?
I'll you know me, I'm really up on my pop culture. But no, all I see is Year of Revenge, The List, pits Fox Studios against self, big snubs. That's it. That's all I
Yeah.
need. That's all I. And, oh, more James Franco accusers share allegations. That's all I got on Hollywood pop culture for today, and
Right.
that's just the headlines.
Well, you're farther enough in front of me. I only knew that they had them. I did not watch. I did not care. So
Something called The Shape of Water or something.
yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't even know what it is. So
I
I
don't
guess
know.
that's up for Best Picture, and Christopher Plummer's up for because he's like 86 or 90 or something. He's
Yeah.
up for best supporting actor
Yep.
in whatever that movie is. So there you go. There you go. There's your awesome, well-informed guest host.
Hey, you could be our pop culture guy. You could have you on shows just to talk that.
Call me. I just spent semi fake news, not
Yeah.
total fake news, just semi, just
There
a
you
little
go.
fake,
Yeah, just a little fake.
slightly fake.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so that was kind of a big thing today. You know, another thing today I saw in the news, which looks horrific. I learned a little bit about it. Is this kid, this high school kid in Kentucky, went in with a pistol, shot 2 people dead and wounded another 17.
oh,
And 15-year-old student. And you know, I don't know if he was bullied, and it's going to be the same story. And
right.
you know,
Right.
Didn't get a trophy, didn't get enough hugs from his daddy, or what it was. But yeah,
How was he finally stopped?
I don't know. Usually that ends up being a teacher that usually or a janitor or somebody that does something great. That hasn't come out yet. I'm sure we'll.
God rest their souls and be with those, the family and friends of all the victims. I mean, this is just insane.
Right.
So I guess we need to bump up the security at the soft targets like schools and etc.
Well, a lot of schools in Ohio and places are now teachers are getting armed, and they're going through training and stuff like that. And we didn't allow them in planes, and then 9/11 happened, and now we got pilots that are flying around with proper training and recertification every year and requalification and now they're armed in the cockpit. The only thing the most common thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and but I know there are teachers are starting to do that too.
That's the equation, right? Bad guy with a gun, good guy with a gun.
Yep. I mean, sometimes a good guy with a baseball bat, a knife, or whatever, or just luck.
An E-tool.
Yeah.
An E-tool.
That's right.
So, but yeah.
That's
the preferred weapon now for melee attack is the E-tool.
Right.
So,
but you see stuff like that. You see stuff about this couple out in California with these kids that were chained up and that kind of stuff, and you just it just goes to remind you that man, there's still a lot of evil in this world everywhere you look.
Amen. And it's literally you could be driving by it every day. Because I don't know what goes on in my neighbor's house. I mean, I'm not, and I think that's what's so horrible about it. I mean, it's just in some, suburban neighborhood, and it's just like, I don't even know what to say, dude. I don't have, to me, that's hell. That would be hell. And to your point, God must really love us because I don't know why He hasn't ended this whole human experiment he's got going on many moons ago. So He must really, really love us with all the stuff that goes on and stuff we don't even hear about, and that still goes on. So It's just, oh man. But
and the stories are still coming out of there, and we don't know how bad it's going to be, but it's obviously, I mean, some were grown adults that were 80-something pounds that look like kids.
Yeah, they're all. I mean, it's like being in some like horrible, POW camp or something.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, it's just all kinds of.
And those lives are. I mean, their lives are just. I mean, honestly, right? They're going to be ruined for.
Yeah,
ever.
I don't know how you try to put that together. Oh my God, just. Oh man, I don't know what to say. God love them, and I hope they find some measure of peace going forward, and physically, mentally, spiritually, everything, emotionally, the whole 9 yards. I don't even know where you begin with that, especially when it's your parents doing it to you.
Right. Exactly.
Who do you trust, man? Who do you trust? Oh my God. But I don't know. to say.
Oh, did you see that we had the new briefing the other day from the sheriff for like after months out in Vegas, and it came on a brief with an update, and what they found out is they still don't know the motive for the shooting in Vegas.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
So
Yeah.
it's 3 months and that hasn't happened. The Russian collusion investigations for a year, nothing's there, and it's like,
well, apparently Mueller grills Sessions.
Yeah.
Comey wants Trump next.
Yes, that's what the news is saying. Yes, he talked to him. I don't know, grilled. I mean, if it's like the conversation we're having, am I grilling you? I mean, but again, it's how you spin it, right?
Know. Yeah, it'd be a little bit more amped up if it was going to reach the grilling level, I would think.
Right.
But anyway, I hear, and here's another headline that just sort of popped. CIA boss hints at preemptive strike on Korea. Or North Korea specifically, sorry.
Yeah, the Olympics are about to happen. Let's not go out
yeah, that's kind of bad timing.
Right.
I know we've been literally still in a state of war with them since 1952, but maybe can we at least wait till the Winter Olympics are done, like in late February, and then do what were they calling it, a bloody nose attack or something, to try and I guess just be really hyper precise and take out the nuke sites or something, and not somehow prevent North Korea from just unloading on South Korea or something.
Right. Yeah, it's like there's not enough happening in the Pacific Rim, like an 8.2 earthquake this morning. There's not enough going on.
And the tsunami warning for Alaska, yeah, we were looking at that, and I guess they canceled it after some time.
Yeah, about 8 something this morning Eastern, it got canceled, but they had recorded a 32-foot wave on a buoy right after. I mean, and for people that know anything about oceans and that kind of stuff, 32 feet out in the middle of the ocean is gigantic. Because as it gets closer to and it gets shallower, the wave gets bigger. So 32 feet out in the middle of the ocean would have been it must have just absorbed itself. But when they first said that, I was like, this is like there's some places about to get wiped out. But I guess
I mean, all that coastline in Alaska, Kodiak, all the islands and stuff. You're like, oh man.
Yeah, the whole West Coast.
I guess it's all okay now.
Yeah,
I guess from what they tell us at least. So okay.
But yeah, so that happened today. Luckily, no one got hurt. It's one more disaster we don't need. We're still recovering from a number of hurricanes and other things going on.
Right.
Terrible fires out in California. We don't need flipping tsunamis. Also, I mean, geez, give a break.
And to your point, no, I think it's great what you just mentioned, because I was thinking too. It's like, man, it's amazing. All these positive economic numbers that keep coming out, despite everything you just said. Either bad weather, floods, fires, what natural disaster here, there, and everywhere, and just billions and billions of dollars for recovery and stuff. So it's amazing that the country is probably technically even doing better, right? If we didn't have to absorb these sort of cataclysmic events that have happened in the last couple of months, or throughout 2017. So it's amazing just to kind of sit back and think about that as well. So thank God for that. But what else? There was something.
Well, we had another almost disaster. We almost thought Hawaii was going to get taken off the map by North Korea. But
yes.
that was a fake one, and learned today that the reason why it took 38 minutes is because the Hawaii government they forgot their Twitter password. They couldn't.
Man, it's so hard being a governor, man, and having a Twitter account.
I guess he didn't use password 1 or I love my job or something like that. I don't know.
Because he's so hyper secure, Troy. So he wrote it down, then he tore it up and he ate it, and then and he couldn't remember his password. So yeah, I just read that too. I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm just like, oh great, let's just exacerbate a really, really bad problem due to your complete and utter and I'm shocked. If I'm supposed to believe this, he's actually operating his own Twitter account, which I don't know. I thought it would be some lackey, some subservient on your staff that would be your Twitter social media expert doing that. So I don't know, but
yeah.
It
probably
matter.
was someone doing it, so he had to do it and didn't know. No one told him what it was, but obviously he took better security than than Hillary and her server in the DNC, because he couldn't even get into his own account.
That's true. I mean,
maybe he learned from them. Yeah. Maybe he really, really complicated. Then
So maybe we should put him in, in charge of, the NSA or something.
Yeah, or at least the DNC. Maybe protect their stuff. But
Man, good God help us all. God help us all.
So yeah, that was almost disaster, and of course that would have been worse than like anything if that happened. But luckily that did not. And like I say, we're about to have the Olympics, and North and South are joining together to field the women's hockey team and to have some singing going on, and we're going to have some kumbaya moments in South Korea here in a couple weeks. I love the Winter Olympics. Me and Toby were talking about that. It's my favorite
absolutely.
ones.
My favorite.
And
it's our favorite. I mean, yeah.
Looking forward to it. Yeah.
Weird if you live in Central Texas sports that involve like snow and ice and anything cold. So it's like a novelty here. It's like a big deal.
Right.
To see the luge and stuff like that. Ski jumping and stuff. So it's like, wow, that really goes on out there in the world outside of Texas. That's pretty cool.
The winter sports are just fun to watch, but they're also inherently more dangerous than anything that's done in the summertime. I mean, when you look at ski jumping, luge, and some of those things, bobsled. I mean, like people moving, super fast down hard ice and razor blades and blah blah blah.
Ice skating.
Yeah, I think that's part of the attraction too. Is like these people could really, someone running a 1,200-meter relay, they're gonna fall and skin their knee, right? That's about it. But someone flying off a luge is moving at like 60 miles an hour into ice, or
faster. Or those guys doing the speed skating when they go, they either the long distance speed skating or that weird stuff where they go around real quick. It's almost like roller rink stuff. But when those guys go flying and they lose it, God knows what they're going to hit. So to your point, it's
something's breaking.
Risky.
Yep.
Yeah.
But anyways, so a lot of things going on, and it's biggest thing is news and missing text messages and a lot of text messages. We've got our Super Bowl contenders picked out here, and we're gonna play that in a couple weeks, and I mean it's
more conspiracy theories with that too, though, Troy. Right, the whole ref thing and the Patriots and the calls, and we just can't get away from conspiracy.
The whole ref walking up and like congratulating them on a touchdown was really, really a bad move. I mean,
it's kind of strange. Yeah, why couldn't you wait till like later?
Right. I mean,
if you wanted to really do that.
It's not like it was the first touchdown that they'd ever made. It wasn't like that. They're not going into the Super Bowl for the 10th time. It's like, oh, the Patriots in the Super Bowl? Who would have thought? Yay, congrats. Like, you're always there. He almost acted like it was like the first time they made it. Like, so excited for him. But, yeah, really bad timing. And I can imagine what those conversations were in the officials' room and all that about, like, there's enough with deflated balls and everything else to add something else on like that. But, yeah.
There's always this aura around that team.
Right.
Deserved or undeserved, I don't know, but it's there. It's just there.
Right. So, they were found, years ago of listening in or reading lips and doing this and seeing the other coaches' plays, and then we had the deflate
Spying
gate
on the practices and stuff.
Yeah. Deflate gate and all that mess. So we'll
unbelievable.
But yeah, that's done. So we got that coming up. We got the Winter Olympics coming. A lot of stuff coming up in February. Next week I am with Toby in the Southern Studios down there in Central Texas, so I will be down there.
Brother.
Yeah, looking forward to it, and looking forward to seeing you too.
Amen.
And we'll have a good show. We continue to work on a number of guests. We've got some that have to delay for just different reasons, and there's some events going on. They can't come on right now, but we were looking forward to getting some of those folks. We have a great in studio guest next week, with Toby and I, so we'll have just one camera to deal with, and we'll be in the same room, which would be nice. So we're really looking forward to that, and looking for a great show. And we're at about the hour point now, so I'm thinking we should probably wrap it up, get ready tonight. We've had some technical difficulties or whatever issues, not difficult, just I don't know why things quit working there for a little bit, but
we drove on.
We drove on. And hopefully we didn't bore everyone too bad, telling old war stories and things like that. But
I love them.
We like to cover some of the topics and politics and that kind of stuff, but the reality is you're hearing that all day in the 24-hour news channels. I mean, we don't want to necessarily rehash everything they say, but we definitely want to cover on a couple topics that we think are important or we just want to highlight. So, yeah, with that, Doug, I thank you for joining me tonight. I appreciate you pinching in for Toby.
Thanks for having me, and love you like a brother. We look forward to seeing you here next week, man. Until all the family up there in Buffalo, we said hi and we love them as well. And hey, thanks everybody for listening. God bless. Have a great rest of your week.
Absolutely, everybody. You guys have a good night, and let me get my stuff set up here, and we will talk to you all next week. Remember, every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock Eastern here on Stu and the Nunn, and you can always catch us on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, Spreaker also, and make sure you subscribe in iTunes and get the podcast there so you can listen to them later if need be. And with that, I want to wish everybody a good night. Doug, thank you very much, and you have a good night too.
Take care. God bless.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Stu and the Nunn Radio. We hope you enjoy your time with us because we have enjoyed sharing our time with you. Be sure to check out stewandthenunn.com in addition to asking us questions and interacting with us on our Facebook page and Twitter. We look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern here on Spreaker and Facebook Live. Also, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Warrior Media Solutions, Poohhammer.com, Veteran Outdoors, Graybeard Publishing, and Mighty Oaks Warrior Foundation. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Thank you again, and have a good night.
Shut up and sit down.